talk to me about Lost Ratones, because I remember pitching the idea to you.
Mm.
I was like talking to the boys, and I was like, yeah, we need to find a support.
Mm.
We need to kind of find a support that's qualifies. Never mind, I can't say that out loud. We need to find a specific support. So, would it be crazy if I asked Rekkles and they were like, yeah, probably won't happen. I was like, I'll just float the idea to you.
Mm.
I'm like, yo, I'm making this team. I don't know what it's going to be like, but we're going to compete. These are the players.
Mm.
What do you think? And then you got back to me like a day later or something, or like a little bit later, and you were like, huh,
Yeah.
that sounds kind of interesting. I'll get back to you.
I think my original thought was, it's interesting, but I'm not sure yet where I stand with even myself, because it was early Worlds that you reached out. I think I was in Paris at that time, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's actually early Worlds, as crazy as it is, because the playoffs is such a long time, like 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm pretty sure I just got to Paris maybe when you reached out, or I was still maybe in Berlin. But anyway, early Worlds, you reached out. And I was open to the idea, but I wasn't sure yet where I stood with what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But then after a few days, I realized that it aligned so much with what I wanted to do, because for me, it was either continue in Korea or take a break. But your option was like in between, perfectly lined up for me to not take a break, but kind of like get the chance to take a break. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you don't have to go to a gaming house and like wake up every single day and like
sweat it
every day.
Yeah, sweat it. Yeah.
You can do like half the week of scrims with a competitive game, but stay at home.
Yeah.
And like hang out with the community. So when you said you were like interested, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, you were surprised, I guess.
I was like, there's no way you're actually interested, right? Let's talk about it. And then it happened. And then the boys were like super hyped.
Yeah, for me it was either you or, 3 options then, I guess. Break, continue T1, or play with you. And I realized continuing T1 was like to the extreme on one end. Yeah. Taking a break was to the extreme on another end.
Yeah.
And yours was so perfectly in the middle. I get the best of everything.
Yeah.
I get the chance to actually not move for the first time in 12 years after New Year's. I'm so used to New Year's happens, and then the day after I travel. That's been the same for 12 years.
Yeah.
And now finally I can chill a few days and actually build a life somewhere, and not just fit everything I own into a suitcase and that's it, and live off of that for 10 months. I can actually now like create a life. So yeah, it was a perfect best of everything option.
Yeah.
And it came like out of nowhere as well. I felt when you told me, and when I thought about it after, it was such a perfect timing. Because let's say you came with this last year, I wouldn't have said yes. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because it didn't fit where I was in my life. I was really hungry to like do something. And I think playing at home last year wouldn't have given me that.
Yeah.
And let's say you came next year, maybe then another opportunity would have been before, and I would have been in a different place. So it was like perfectly lined up with where I was in my life as well. Almost as if something greater is happening above us.
Bro, we're gonna win a lot.
So thank you for that.
No, it was crazy. Like seeing you say yes, and then adding you to the group, and all the boys saying like, "Oh hell yeah." We'll obviously be practicing and stuff. Like I think it's just nice because I get it, because I'm in the exact same spot, because I lived in Berlin for like 7 years.
Yeah.
The reason I was there was to go cast.
Yeah.
And now I've moved to London in England, and I'm like close to my family.
Yeah.
And I can like live here now without having to like travel.
Actually, our timeline is the exact same.
Or like be in a foreign country or whatever. Even though I had like a bit of a life there, which was good, and I had like a really happy life there. It's like more of like a settle down vibe.
Yeah.
And like full focus.
Because you can still work just as much, if not even more, because you're healthier and feeling better.
Yeah.
But you actually get the chance to like breathe out properly, take a proper breath out for the first time, and think a little bit about where you are in your life and what you want to do, and create your like safe space. Like seeing this place and seeing you in this environment, I understand that this is like a great place for you to be.
My little bubble.
And we're in such a similar timeline, because you closed the Berlin chapter now.
Yeah.
And I close my on the road chapter, which is basically Berlin, Korea, Paris, whatever I've done. And we're moving home. You're moving home. Like now is when it starts for you, and now is when it starts for me as well. So it's a really similar timeline, and I'm happy that we are sharing it. It's like that Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, one.
One outcome, one thing.
1 in a million or whatever he says.